Hello, today we are going to talk about billing products in phases. When you are billing a project in phases and you want to group your products together so that you can bill some of them in the first month, some of them in the second month, etc., etc. And to do this, we are going to leverage a little used aspect of ConnectWise, which is the invoice grouping function. What I'm looking at here is my invoicing screen, and I'm here under Finance Invoicing. And let's say that I would like to bill my project Zoom rooms, and I want to bill just the first half of my products, or maybe just the products I purchased on one specific PO. When I click into company name and I go to the product tab, I can see all my products selected here, but I'm not seeing any purchase order information. I'm not able to filter down by what phase these are in. It's really going to be hard for me to split up and invoice these products in sections. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually modify the invoice group ID on the project product tab, and that's going to allow us to sort when we come back to this screen. The project I'm working on is called Zoom Rooms Upgrades. So I'm going to click into my project and go to the Products tab. Now, before we go to the next step, you're going to need to set up your invoice groups, and I'll show you how to do that here. In another tab, I'm just going to my Procurement Product Catalog. In the product catalog, it always defaults to this catalog page. There's this invoice group tab you may not have checked out before. We're going to go into the invoice group tab. And I've created a few. You can create however many you want. The next group ID I'm going to call is Bill Phase 3 because I'm going to be billing my products in multiple phases. And I'd like to have a Phase 1, Phase 2, and a Phase 3. So I'll hit the plus sign. I'll type in bill phase 3, and I'm just going to use the description the same as the name. I would like to show sub items on the invoice, so that's where you're going to start selecting or deselecting some items. If you want to show the sub items on the invoice, if you'd like to show the price on the invoice, if you want to do any sort of grouping, I usually just select show sub items. Once I have my invoice groups set up, these are system-wide. So these are active. I can use them on projects. I can use them on service tickets. I can use them anywhere. And I like to keep the naming really general because they are system-wide. I'll hop back to my project. And what I'll do here is start to break my products into phases. So let's say I want to bill these first products in phase 1. I'll select the items as I just did by selecting the first line, hitting Shift and selecting the last line, Actions, and I'm going to go to the second last line, Add Products to Invoice Group. Here, I'm going to call this Bill Phase 1. So I'm going to look and I can see those pre-built invoice groups we built on the product catalog page earlier, and I'll say Bill Phase 1. The downside to doing this is for some reason, there's no invoice grouping column here, so you can't see what invoice group you put things in. So you do have to remember. But then I'll go ahead and select my second group and bill phase 2. And then I'll select my last ones and bill phase 3. So I need to start at computer and go down to bill phase 3. Once I've grouped my products like this in my invoice groups, it may not be visible here on the products screen, but it's going to be visible in my invoicing screen. So now when I go back to the finance invoicing screen and I look at my projects, click into the company name and go back to my product list, I can now pull this invoice group ID column all the way to the far left. And this shows me exactly which phase each of these products should be billed in. I can even sort by phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. If this isn't visible, go into that gear and find it in your hidden columns and move it over to your visible columns. Once you have that all organized, you can easily see which items you would like to bill at any given time. That is how to use the invoice groups to allow you to indicate on a project where you would like to bill your products in which phase and how to see those phases on the invoicing screen.